Schooling in India is messed up. Now, one may believe that this may be an exaggeration or even an overreaction, especially when there are several experts in the world who have praised India for its education system. We are not saying this is a problem with all schools in India. We are pointing out certain problems in majority of the schools that can be sorted out with minimal effort. However, if you keep watching this video, you'll understand the reasons behind why the schools in India are messed up. But first, let's see what India is doing right. In 1947, when India gained independence, the literacy rate was 12%. The literacy rate in 2022 in India stood at 76%. This is a little below the global average of 86%. India's closest competitor, China, has a literacy rate of 97%. Having said that, India has worked hard to get children back to school. However, child labor is still prevalent in some remote rural pockets of India. This matters, as child labor is the leading cause of illiteracy, and this creates a poverty loop, also known as development trap. It means an illiterate person won't be able to cope up with advancement of society, which in turn keeps the person poor, and due to the poverty their children end up illiterate, creating a cycle of generational poverty. But then, the problem here is the quality of schooling in India. A major problem in India's lower primary schooling is the overemphasis on books and written knowledge. This approach often neglects the importance of practical knowledge such as understanding culture, society, and real-world experiences. This is causing millions of children in India to grow up with lower empathy, less understanding of social behavior, and average to low communication skills. In the long run, these issues can impact their economical and mental growth. While traditional education has its place, focusing solely on written knowledge can limit students' potential. The solution to this problem comes from a scholar, Howard Gardner, a renowned development psychologist and a professor at Harvard University. He has argued individuals possess a variety of skills, including creative, practical, and interpersonal skills in his book called Frames of Mind: The Theory of Multiple Intelligences. As per the book, a person can have up to 8 different skills. Body smart, who is a person good in sports. People smart, a person good at relationship building. Word smart, a person who is a good communicator. Logic smart, someone who is a problem solver. Nature smart, a naturalist or an environmentalist. Self smart, someone who is drawn towards spirituality. Picture smart, a person who is interested in visual arts. And music smart. India's lower primary education focuses on only one skill, which is analytical, and it covers only word smart and logic smart skills from the multiple different skills a child can possess. This system narrows the development of a child to stick to the book and refrains them from thinking out of the box. Now, let's understand what can be learned from the education system of China and Japan, two countries that have shown significant success in innovation and academic achievement. In India, there are multiple systems: state boards, central boards, and international boards, leading to inconsistent educational standards. Think about education in India not as a primary pillar of the nation, but as a business model, where parents who have money enroll their children into private schools for a better education, while the child of a poor laborer is doomed to study a poor quality syllabus that may lead to a poverty loop. While China and Japan have standardized their education system, India has moved away from its historical reputation as a land of free knowledge. Scholars from far and wide came to India to learn spirituality, philosophy, science, math, and arts. Today, most parents are busy pushing children for grades in just a single form of skill, ignoring the remaining 7, turning education into an analytical rat race. So far, we have discussed surface-level problems in the lower primary schooling. Now, let's look at some shocking numbers. The overall high school attendance rate in India is around 75 to 80%. In China, the high school attendance rate is 99%, and in Japan, it's 98%. The world average attendance rate in high school is 90%. Now, the basic question is, why are children dropping out though India offers free education up to high school? India has a primary school attendance rate of 90%, but it falls by a huge number in high school. Now, the usual factors are economic and geographic, like children living in remote places. But there could be more reasons to this. So, what are those reasons? The Pratham Education Foundation and the Ministry of Human Resource Development have conducted several surveys that have examined the relationship between school infrastructure, teaching methods, and student dropout rates. These studies have found that poor building conditions, lack of basic amenities like benches and fans, and traditional teaching methods are all significant factors contributing to dropouts. Even after such levels of research, there is a gap. There is no change in sight, especially when China and Japan allocate 4% of its GDP to education and India only allocates 2% of its GDP to education. The question is, where is this money going? Schools in India have a severe shortage of faculty in state and national levels that further cause a gap in education and in children as they grow older. India needs to look into its educational needs. It needs to fix its school infrastructure to international standards. Syllabus and methods used for teaching need to match the types of skills spoken by scholars like Gardner. Children need to be encouraged to follow other skills other than just analytical skills. Encourage private sector teachers to join public schools. This can be done by giving better wages and perks. And finally, promote cultural identity and social behavior in children in primary schooling. The world believes that the 21st century is India's century, but it will end up spilling and wasting its time and energy if India doesn't fix its education system.